why the Spice Girls are nothing to celebrate. Now, I want to talk about this, guys, specifically because I came to know about the Spice Girls recently, courtesy of a good friend of mine. Shout out to my girl, AJ, who kind of put me onto a lot about the Spice Girls that I personally didn't know. And what I've come to realize is I really feel the Spice Girls are what is to blame for so much of the issues that we as women face today. Because there's this thing about them that I feel like that. Now, first of all, they're known, it's known that around the time of their founding now, that they were kind of known as the rebellious ones, going against the patriarchy, yada yada yada, which is why a lot of girls, women to this day, love the Spice Girls. But the thing is, there's a few things that stick out about them for me that are particularly problematic, and I'm gonna have to speak about this a lot because there's so much to unpack within the story of the Spice Girls. But one thing I will say is they kind of, I feel, started an issue that we as women face today, which is the one where we want to be able to be as naked and as sexually free and as provocative as towards men as we want to be, but then we want to dictate, we want to demand respect and a respect of boundaries. Now, what I'm saying in this is I'm not saying that because I'm a firm believer that just because you see a woman outside naked, that does not give you permission to do anything to her. I'm not saying stuff like that. What I'm saying is where they've had this flirtatious behavior, you know, kissing Prince Charles and touching people and doing all this cheeky behavior, sometimes it's difficult for me to for people to defend them when for them to defend themselves against men doing cheeky behavior towards them, because a lot of men will say, well, we're just doing what you are doing to others. And that's why I don't think they should be doing stuff like that. I don't think what they're doing is right or fine at all. Don't get me wrong. I think they shouldn't be doing stuff like that, and they shouldn't have been doing stuff like that. And honestly, I feel like they're big babies to this day. I think they came into the industry, they were very much chosen more so on their looks than their talent, which is something that no one's ever let go about them, which is a shame because I do think they're talented. They would not have been able to make music if they couldn't sing or dance the way that they do. But now we're in a situation where they were chosen basically because, and even when you look at the old documentaries about them, like you can see that men were just attracted to them. Like the women did, the Spice Girls, I don't feel, this is why I think a lot of men don't respect them to this day. A lot of people who've known them from the beginning, or a lot of people, it's because they know that they didn't really come up because of their talent, although I believe they are talented. It was more about the fact that people were attracted to them. And that's why I think the Spice Girls are nothing to celebrate, because I think it's given us as women this thing that we now do where when we are celebrated based on our appearance, we welcome that and we entertain that, and then we get upset because we're not being seen for our work, you know. And I very much feel they started a lot of that provocative behavior and everything like that. And so now we're in a situation where now we're demanding that we want, you know, and even just overexposure, because there has been a sense of entitlement where people have enjoyed, you know, the likes of the Spice Girls and the way that they are. You know, there's a lot of men out there who enjoy women who are very free in you know, in a sexual manner in that kind of way. And we made it now so that sometimes it's a little bit difficult to defend ourselves. Like I said, I'm never defending anyone who's trying to say they can do anything with any woman. I don't defend that, and that goes either way. Consent, if God is consensual, you need to be consensual. If God doesn't force himself on anybody, no one else deserves to do that, right? And so I just feel that we've got to be realistic at the end of the day, that you can't try and portray one thing and then reel it back in. You can't be going out teasing people and then getting upset and saying they got the wrong idea, you know, when they're then treating you the way that you've chosen to behave. And like I said, it's not me saying that if you dress a certain way on Instagram, then you deserve something. I don't mean that at all. I don't. But what I'm saying is when we cross certain boundaries and we want to act like it's okay to be touching and kissing and being playful and cheeky and whatnot, then we cannot be upset when that same thing is being happening to us. We also have to respect the boundaries. And I think a lot of times we go ahead and we support people like the Spice Girls, right? And we don't think about the repercussions of that movement in and of itself, and how it brought us today to a place where a lot of people feel entitled because of the things like the Spice Girls, because of the things they've done, the things they've said, the way that they behaved. So I just wanted to touch on that for today. I am going to talk more about these guys because I feel like there's so much to be said about the Spice Girls. And I actually think they're a victim in the sense that they thought what they thought they were portraying, they weren't. In fact, they were just feeding into exactly what was wanted, which was the fact that there were a bunch of sick men with a lot of money, as unfortunately is the case. Not that I have anything against men, by the way. This is just the truth of the industry, that are portraying what they want by making those the standards through the talent that they choose, and maintaining it by maintaining those as the standards, even just the standard of them having to be young. It's another thing that me and my friend have discussed, you know, just the ageism, and why is there this obsession of people having to succeed so young? Why can't people just succeed at the reasonable ages? Why are we always trying to take advantage of people when they're the most moldable? Again, which makes me think this isn't a movement to be supported, because they're not in this movement because they understood what they were doing, and this is the life that they've chosen to live as fully understanding adult people. Although Jerry was older, this is again an exploitation of their youth and their naivety, to the extent that that's why people like to work with younger people in the industry, because they're easy to mold them into what you want. When you meet an adult person, they know what they want, and it's difficult to get what you want. It's difficult to put a lot of these sick, twisted, unspoken, unwritten rules of Hollyweird onto them, because they know their rights and they know what they deserve. And the older that people are getting and the more time's going on, I'm glad that we're rectifying a lot of this stuff in young girls, so that young girls can understand what isn't acceptable. So yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about all of this, what you guys think of the Spice Girls. I mean, for me, the more I learn about them, the more problematic they are, and the more I understand why Posh is just out here living her family life and not wanting to be involved in anything else, because I actually think they've done so much more damage for us as women than they've done good. And I think if not for them, it would there would be a lot easier for us to get real justice for a lot of the women out there. And I'm only speaking of women, I'm on the side of women because I'm a woman. It happens on both sides, you know. There would be a lot easier to get justice for women, and you wouldn't have people trying to justify in court that, oh, but like she was wearing a thong, you know, for a reason why they felt that they could you know, cross the boundaries of consent, you know. So yeah, you guys let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, of course, as well, and check out my other videos. Other than that, God bless you all, and I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.